right, this is adding and subtracting with scientific notations. First thing you guys got to remember is that my exponents must be the same. I cannot add or subtract unless I have the same exact exponent. So I got to make them the same. How do I change my exponents? Well, if I had, let's say I have 3.2 times 10 to the second power, and I need it to be a 4. Well, that means I've got to add 2. If I make this bigger, then this number has to become smaller. So I'm going to move it 2 spaces. So this is the same thing as 0.032 times 10 to the 4th. Now, I know that's not written correctly in scientific notation, but what I needed there was an exponent of 4, right? I've got to change, I got to be able to change the exponents. And I change the exponents. If I make them bigger, I have to make the numbers smaller. All right. So again, number 1, they've got to be the same, right? So these two are the same. They're both a 3. That means I can go ahead and add them. My answer is going to have that times 10 to the third. All I have to do is add 3.1 and 4.3. So 3.1 plus 4.3 equals 7.4. So my answer is 7.4 times 10 to the third power. Okay, got to have the same exact exponent. If you don't, you cannot add them. All right, so I'm going to look at number 3. I don't have the same exact exponent. I always take the bigger one and the smaller one and make it bigger. So I'm going to add a 1 here. If I add a 1 here, I have to move this 1 to the left. So now I have 2.4 times 10 to the 4th plus 0.557 times 10 to the 4th. I added 1 here. Get this a little bit smaller. I added 1 here, so that become a 4. And to add 1, I had to move that to the left 1. Add left, okay? So now my answer is going to have that times 10 to the 4th. And what I have to do is add 2.4 plus 0.557. So 2.4 plus 0.557. 2.957. So my answer, 2.957 times 10 to the 4th. Okay. All right, let's try number 5. I'm going to mess with the 1 because it's the smaller one. So I'm going to add 3. If I add 3 here, I have to move this 3 spaces. So that means I need to make this 0.0025 times 10 to the 4th plus 6.14 times 10 to the 4th. All right, since both of these are 10 to the 4th, there's my times 10 to the 4th. That's part of my answer. Now I have to add my 2 numbers. So 6.14 plus 0.0025. Fill in some zeros. 5, 2, 4, 1, 6. 6.1425 times 10 to the fourths. Okay, you might want to pause the video here and try a couple. I'm doing your odds. You can do your evens. You might want to pause and try one. I'm going to do 7. I have a -3 and a -6. Here's where we got to know those negatives. -6 is smaller. So I'm going to add 3 because -6 plus 3 will give me this -3. So if I add 3, then I've got to move this 3 spaces over. So I have 5 times 10 to the -3 plus 0.0033 times 10 to the -3. When I add them, I get 5.0033. 3 times 10 to the -3. Okay. All right. I'm going to do a subtraction one. Got to go back over here.